Hey, Sam, this is Alan from Indiana.
Alan from Indiana, what's on your mind?
Well, normally I would have something political to say, but more of a farming issue. I know Kowalski's a daily farmer. He does that for a living. I'm around the environmental aspect of what the farming sees. I work at a education center.
Okay.
And in my area, we have a different problem than what Kowalski has, where it's dry and they're trying to get wet. Here, northern Indiana is basically a swamp, and all the fields around here have been drain tiled. I don't know if you tiling similar to what they do with the house with the drainage.
Okay.
Where they'll run a pipe underground.
Yeah.
And they've changed how they have been doing it as well. They used to do it to where they would put basically a drain pipe sticking out where the low spot is and run it into the ditch, which we don't have rivers here typically either. We have ditches because it's all made to drain off as much water as possible. And with what the climate scientists are saying, we're getting more and more water here. So we do have an issue with water, but instead of using the water, they're trying to get rid of it as fast as they can. So we have issues with algae blooms in Lake Erie and such. And now with their new drain tiling system, what they're doing is they're literally putting in like grid works of pipes with what they like a sock over them. So it's like something to prevent it from getting clogged.
Right, like a filter.
And a filter over it. And then they're putting these every like 30, 40 feet and then wiring them together and then draining them all out.
Yeah.
So, in the future, when we do have a drought here, all of our groundwater will be gone because there's no way to replenish your groundwater.
And because it's not going to, it's not staying there. It's basically ushered out.
Yeah,
is probably the best way to put it.
Yes, as fast as they can get rid of it. So,
why aren't they like, I don't know, like pooling it in these like big sort of like like ponds? Like why are they just putting it like why aren't they, I don't know, contemplating?
There is no they don't want to. We have the solar issue is coming up here now. As far as like commercial solar, they don't want none of these farmers want the solar around here because it's an eyesore. But yet we have a monoculture field that is an eyesore that nothing lives in it besides their corn because it doesn't need pollination. It doesn't need any of that stuff.
They're putting solar farms everywhere upstate in the area that I am in, and people say it's an eyesore. It's not.
Why?
I really don't. I think it's actually sort of cool looking in certain instances. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely more industrial, and you're in a rural area, and it looks more industrial in some ways, but it doesn't look like nobody seems to complain, or some do, but about like, big cell phone towers. These things are low to the ground. I don't know. I mean, in some ways they look like they have the same sort of feel like you look at a huge field of corn. It's not natural, I guess, but I mean, it also is.
Exactly.
It's also, you're just aware that your air is going to be cleaner at one point, and you're going to have a renewable source of energy. I don't quite see it, but people get used to it.
It's not even just that though, because you can also grow, I don't know if you know like the difference between like what native plants used to be here and the root systems of those plants compared to anything that we grow that's annual plant that you replant. I mean, the root systems of native plants grow 30, 40 feet into the ground.
Right.
And also put moisture down in there as storage. You can grow prairie plants around all of your solar panels.
Right.
And actually have life there. You can have native bees. I mean, native bees, there's tons and tons of them that people don't even realize. But I mean, for instance, like as much as they hate it, what they've done in the county where I work is they've instituted a rule that you need to put up a 6-foot barrier all the way around your solar farm if you want to have commercial solar. So you have to have a fence and I think a native barrier, like tree barrier as well, all the way around it in order to just put something in. Because that is how much we don't like.
Yeah, people get used to it. But listen, I appreciate the phone call.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Bye.